My whole thing is to not look at anything.
Well, you get most of your news from your friends.
That is where I get, things that are really important make it through.
Yeah.
You actually get told. You don't have to go reading anything. If it's important, people will tell you.
People will pass it
and in
on.
degrees.
That's right.
That's what I found. And it's like, that's leaving it up to other people as being so, you're not sort of taking an interest in it.
No, it's outsourcing. It's outsourcing because you can trust your friends to only tell you, things that might be important rather than just being delivered, a continuous stream of BS.
Like, can you imagine how important something, but it's not about your friends. Okay. If something was really important, for example, I might get told by the person at the supermarket, that I go every day. They might be like, hey,
did you know?
Did you know?
Did you?
Did you
hear about
okay
it?
with?
Yeah.
Have you been okay? Are you okay?
What are your feelings about it?
Yeah, because maybe I saw them every day, getting just the ham, And so there could be things that were so important that the ham lady would tell me.
Yeah. Or, it actually got to a point where she needed to relationship with it. Reiterate it to others. Yeah, that's right.
And so I think, and then you get to a thing where maybe, you're just down the bus stop and then the person you have never really spoken to, but you just get on at the same time and they're there maybe 3 other times out of the 5.
Sharers of the ride. Yep.
Yeah. They talk about it and you've never even spoken before.
It's part of their,
Suddenly they're like,
dialogue.
Hey, what the, now that's shit. That's probably clear and present danger. That's probably, I'm not even sure why you're on the bus at that point. You'd have to be.
What, you'd be trying to escape?
Oh, possibly, yeah. I mean, possibly that would be it. You were just fortunately timing the escape on the bus. That would be why you'd be communicating about.
You'd be happy to get off at the stop before your stop just so you didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You'd be walking that extra 500 metres just so you didn't have to hear it.
Yeah. So I think, but then they're down to the level of the friend, but basically it sets up buffer zones. I guess it does. In certain ways it does. The filter information. And it's actually important, the way our neural nets work, when it's not wise to just open slather that crap, I've done it. I can speak with
I remember being the news junkie. Yes. Don't worry. Yeah.
I don't need to consume anymore. I've seen the future by consuming the past. But
the future is not swallowing mouthfuls of that BS.
No, it's not. There's no need. There's no need. There's no need for it because it doesn't tell you anything useful. It usually tells you something.
Well, that's why you got to ask yourself the question: is it helping? Is it helping?
Well,
no.
It's all
then it's not necessary. Yeah.
Remember, it's everything. The ad is the primary communication unit, and you might think that by that I mean that you take out an ad, and that is the primary. That's and I do mean that. Actually, I do totally mean that. But also that when you're communicating as if you're with the purpose of advertisement and in the function of I think the easiest way to describe it is actually it's a more complicated way of describing it, but is what I call backroom policy versus public. So backroom decisions versus public policy.
Public policy, yeah.
So it's you do this, but in the back house, we're going to go kill these fuckers off, right? So how are we going to make everyone agree to kill these fuckers up? Oh, well, they rape children. All right.
Yeah. We put them in that special category where everyone hates them. Yeah.
That's what we do. Oh, kill them all.
Yeah, that's it. I'll hold the stick.
Yeah, that's it. So the public policy, you've got to be very mindful of what you're being told, but because it's marketing. I'm not saying it's a lie or anything. No. I'm not trying to, but just remember that I'm just using an exaggerated example to make a point of the fact that things are marketing, and in that regard, see how you behave in response to it, and that tells you something very important. Right? And if you are behaving towards it in any way, that's telling you something very important. Unless you're personally in danger,
we've got a hook. That's right.
Otherwise, and then from how you're behaving, look at how it's affecting. Try and step aside from that and stop behaving, and then see how things are happening in response to it. And the response to marketing is always the goal. So you have the backroom decision, the public policy, and then you have the feedback, what goes on and how the public responds.
That's right.
That's the public response, and you just time that very simply. And